everybody. Glad to be back with you. I'm Kurt Roth, and this is the 505 Sports Venture Foundation program, where hopefully weekly we discuss UNM athletics and the impact and importance of name, image, and likeness, and of course our collective 505 SVF. We have a special guest, a little bit of a different take today. We'll get with him in a second. I want to thank my producer behind the glass, Adrian from Norwalk, California, and up the stairs in the big chair, Steve Davis, high over Central Avenue, who gives us this opportunity to come and talk to you about what I believe is a really important subject. Well, if you follow college sports, you've been watching, and you're a Lobo fan, of course, you've been watching with amazement and maybe some dread or excitement, I don't know what the emotions are, of basically the recreation, realignment, restaffing, I don't know what else to call it, of the Mountain West Conference. 5 traitorous institutions have left for a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and I think ultimately they will find out that there's no rainbow and there's no pot of gold in Pullman, Washington, and Corvallis, Oregon. But yesterday we learned that an old rival, an old pal, UTEP, is going to be back in our conference, which to me is a great start. But it's a crucial time for New Mexico and New Mexico athletics. And the quickest way to success in this new crazy world is on the field. And the best way to ensure success on the field is through name, image, and likeness. So we need your support. 505sports.org. Check it out. $10 a month, $20 a month, a one-time $25 gift. We love it all. Okay, so we're going to do a little business, come back, and we're going to meet our guests. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Albuquerque's leader in sport. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hey everybody, welcome back. This is the 505 Sports Venture Foundation show. Quickly, because we never have enough time to get all this stuff done, we have a lot of information, a lot to talk about. I want to introduce my special guest, familiar to many of you in and around both UNM and Albuquerque, Mackenzie Bishop. Mackenzie, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to be here.
Let me tell you guys, if you don't know, Mackenzie, born and raised in New Mexico, East Mountain High School grad, graduates with honors from UNM Anderson Business School in 2008. A real go-getter. 2010, he starts a business with a partner, Abrazo Homes. Home development business. I personally can vouch for the quality. I live in an Abrazo home, but one of the biggest developers in the state. So not only is he a successful business guy, he's a member of the 505 Sports Venture Board and the Lobo Club Board. So you have a unique position that you're in this NIL movement and on the inside.
Yeah, getting to see all kinds of stuff from the front row right now, which it's an incredibly dynamic time in college sports in the Mountain West, but especially at the University of New Mexico.
All right, before we get to to interrupt. Before we get to college sports, in my other career, I was a real estate guy.
Yeah.
And we had a seminal event where if we had historically low interest rates, and then boom, overnight, they literally doubled for home loans. That had a chilling effect, but obviously on your business. But obviously, you guys dealt with it. What's going on now?
Well, rates are coming down. Obviously, the big headline is that the Federal Reserve dropped the overnight rate and their target rate by 50 basis points. The great thing about our industry is it moves a little more fluidly than that, and so the rates have actually been coming down even before that happened. But it's a seminal and emotional moment as a turn in the cycle to get people thinking about buying again. So, we're very excited about the future. We've actually fared pretty well, a lot better than, the used home market and also the mortgage market, which refinances basically went to zero when rates skyrocketed. So new construction, we have the ability to weather some of that. We can be a little bit more flexible in how we structure transactions and make homes still affordable for our customers. So we're excited about the future with rates coming down, and we have a couple new communities opening here in the fourth quarter. Mesa del Sol, we've got 2 new product lines coming out there, so we're very excited about being active in the Albuquerque metro area again, as well as a new community in northern Rio Rancho, which has been an amazing submarket for us.
All right, well, again, I can vouch for the product. I live in an incredibly cool house. I love it, Abrazo Homes. All right, so you've got things going on. I believe there might be one place left in my development, Run, in Ascension, in the Balloon Fiesta. We're going to have a great time next week. How do they find you? Where's the website? Where do they go to find your listings?
So the best place to find all of our stuff is on our website, abrazohomes.com. That's ABRAZO. Often confused with the Bruzo. They have the Balloon Museum. Great family, amazing folks here in the Albuquerque area, but no relation. Abrazo in Spanish means hug or embrace. So go to abrazohomes.com. You can find any of our available homes and inventory. Reach out to Blair there. There's a quick link, call to action. Easy to get with her. She's our new home matchmaker. Single point of contact who can get you set up and make sure that your home search is as convenient and streamlined as possible.
All right, abrazohomes.com. Check it out. All right, so now let's start. UTEP joins again. Conference realignment. You're with us and you understand the importance of what we're doing, but you're also inside at UNM in the athletic department or the Lobo Club. What are you thinking?
I think UTEP made a lot of sense. They were probably one of the top candidates. The challenge with both with UTEP and New Mexico State is they really occupy kind of the same market. They don't believe that, certainly. Fans of those institutions don't believe that. But from an outside perspective, from a media perspective, and also if we just think about all the rest of the schools in the Mountain West who are now left making these decisions about who we should go after and who we should bring in, UTEP was probably a a sexier addition than New Mexico State. We can argue about whether that's true or not. And I know the New Mexico State fans out there are feeling some heartache right now, but they're feeling right now the way we felt 2-3 weeks ago. So
All
I mean,
could change.
The roller coaster of emotions as we deal with these things and feeling like we might get left without a dance partner or without a chair when the music stops. It's a desperate feeling, and I certainly don't I can sympathize with them, and I don't it's good that the Mountain West is on more solid footing today than it was even a week ago, with the contract and the grant of rights memorandum and agreement that the remaining schools committed to, the 6 standing institutions as well as Hawaii. So I thought that was a good deal that got brokered at the end. But it'll be very interesting to see. They need one more, so we'll see where they go for that.
Do we like Texas? Do we like more into Texas? I mean, I think we heard Texas State said no.
Texas State said no. The talks have stalled. In my opinion, Texas State is right now evaluating their options and trying to see who's going to give them the best deal. They told the Sun Belt that they're staying. I would be shocked if Texas State is in the Sun Belt when all the dust settles on this. I think they're waiting to see what happens with the American. Do they go to the American? Do they go to the Mountain West? Does the Pac-12 come to them if they can't get anybody, if they can't get Memphis to jump? There's still some empty seats that need to be filled. Texas State is a big stock and a high stock in those things, and so it'll be very interesting to see where they end up and how it plays out. I do think right now they're slowing things down because they want to see how the dust settles, and they want to get the best deal.
Yeah, no doubt about it. A lot of bargaining. It's funny how the chips land on one. You don't have leverage one day, and then all of a sudden you do. And
right.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I was looking around. I saw devastation. We were looking at no Mountain West, no buyout money or whatever we call the transfer money. So I love UTEP coming in. I'm from the old school. The 8-team WAC is what I got here. With UTEP and UNM were travel partners. That was arguably the toughest road trip for teams to make in basketball. And those were the days where there was Arizona State, Arizona, BYU, Utah, Wyoming, Colorado State. Incredibly cool conference. We're going to take a break in a second, but I still like New Mexico State. I think we'll talk more going forward about that, but I would love to see the Aggies for a bunch of reasons. Anyway, we're going to take a break. We'll come back with part 2 with our guest, Mackenzie Bishop. Stay with us.
What's going on? Who are you guys?
Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres.
They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain.
Who's that?
That's your new buddy in jail.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Light skin shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hey everybody, welcome back to a middle segment of the 505 SVF Show. We're here with Mackenzie Bishop, local home builder, member of the 505 SVF team, member of the Lobo Club Council, tried and true New Mexican. Again, grateful to have you on today. All right, so we talked a little bit about realignment. Gonzaga now announces they're going into that Pac 7, 8, whatever the heck they're going to call it. On paper, what it looks like is a great basketball conference, which is sort of ironic because all of these moves basically are based in football. Right. They want to have football. Football clearly sells at every level more than men's basketball, and that's something that's a little hard for New Mexicans to understand. I don't know what happens with that. I think they've kind of overshot their goals over there, and they're not going to be the P5 league. It's not even close. But all right, so we stabilized. The Mountain West stabilized. We're looking for new partners. I mean, I've heard Northern Illinois, Toledo for football. Sounds odd. Both pretty good schools. And another thing, New Mexicans, I'm going to editorialize here. Both Toledo and Northern Illinois spend more money on their football program than we do at New Mexico. One of the reasons why we were so shaky in this, we had no leverage. And I find it, I keep saying it, but Utah State and Logan, Utah are today a more attractive franchise than Albuquerque and UNM. And to me, that's criminal. But we did that from the governor on down to the legislature to the individuals. We were ninth in the old Mountain West in athletic department spending. So that has to happen in addition to NIL. Okay, so let's kind of turn a little bit here. You're a big Lobo fan. What are you seeing on the football field? What do you feel?
Honestly, I'm really excited. I think the gauntlet that we had to run through the first 4 games of the year was a challenge. We knew that going in. I mean, that having 2 bye games is great for the budget. Really challenging when you're trying to establish a culture, and we need wins to put butts in seats at University Stadium. But I think, I and a lot of people share optimism about what we're seeing. Not necessarily the outcome of wins and losses, but being able to compete and go toe-to-toe from an offensive standpoint with some of the best defenses, that are in the region, let alone maybe the country. An SEC defense at Auburn. I know Auburn's down, but they still have Auburn
dudes.
They have Auburn dudes, right? So, I think offensively we're way ahead. We have a pretty great crop of skill position players. And I think defense is where we're seeing the lack of depth, and that's where we really need the time, need the NIL investment. We need to gain some momentum and just get more dudes. I mean, you said that's the name of the game, and it truly is. There is no faster way to create on-field success in today's day and age. Facilities don't matter. None of that stuff matters. It really matters. What does the position look like for a would-be recruit? Do they have an opportunity to start and to play a lot? And, what's the NIL investment look like? I mean, that really is the fastest, most efficient way to create on-field success. And I think the coaches see it. I think the administration is coming around to understand and see that, which is definitely makes me feel better. You mentioned investment, and I think that's probably the realignment is less. Everybody wants to say it's about TV, and TV is a part of it. But it really comes down to investment. The reason New Mexico got left out in the cold has nothing to do with our athletic department. It has nothing to do with our brand. It has maybe a little bit to do with the perception of the Albuquerque TV market. What it comes down to, if you literally look at a list of the athletic budgets in the Mountain West, the top 5, and especially when you look at total investment, but especially investment in football, the top 5 on that list aren't here anymore. Right. The bottom 6 or 7 are still here. And that's literally, I hate to simplify it as much as that, but Utah State, you mentioned it. Logan that's not a major market. People in Utah don't care about Utah State sports. But if you look at their commitment and their investment and the amount of money that main campus gave to the athletic department to invest in football, that's why they're in the Pac-12 and they were invited, and that's why we weren't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We were going to wait till the next segment, but Mackenzie brought it up. NIL, you watch the game, and let me tell you, we're a play away from talking bowl eligibility. We beat that Montana State team. We're looking at, I think we'll be a favorite against Arizona. Air Force in a week from Saturday. Small favorite. And we're competitive. And come on, Lobo football fans, We scored 50 points again on the road against New Mexico State. We scored 30 on the road against Arizona. So Coach Beck and the offense is just carrying the load. Obviously, we knew this could happen. We knew we wouldn't have the depth. The defense, I guarantee the defense gets better. I guarantee it. We were out a few guys on Saturday. We have the week off. I think we're going to have everybody back for Air Force. So the future's bright. But you saw Naquan Rogers, 128 yards. He's a junior.
Yep.
We all know about our quarterback. He's a sophomore. Guess what? The transfer portal looms. And it's up to us. It's up to you out there to pitch in. 505sports.org. That's the deal. So, all right. So football is getting better. Clearly. I mean, it's clearly more entertaining. You score points. You know, we don't have a punting contest every game. And that's another thing. Aaron Rodriguez, guy goes to
what a cool story, right?
What a great story.
Yeah.
Nursing student, doesn't travel with the team, stays here for a special event the night before the game, drives down the Las Cruces Mountain West Special Teams Player of the Week.
Had two incredible punts.
Boom,
inside the 5 yard
Looked just like my wedge on the green. Anyway, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with the final segment with our guest, Mackenzie Bishop. Stay with us.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the third and final segment of today's 505 SVF program. I'm here with in studio with Mackenzie Bishop, member of the Lobo Club Council, member of the 505 Board of Directors, lifetime New Mexican home builder, overall good dude, father, soccer dad, all that good stuff. Okay, this month, before we know it, Lobo basketball is back. I know that's your deal. It's mine too.
Oh yeah.
First, let's talk a little bit about what you anticipate on the court.
Well, I think our Achilles heel the last couple of years has just been size, and that size and physicality has affected our ability to defend and rebound. I think the game against Clemson was just in the NCAA tournament last year was just a glaring example of what we lacked. They exploited those weaknesses, and I think Coach Pitino and Chu and the rest of the staff got the message. I mean, not that they didn't know. They knew our inherent challenges and weaknesses, and I think they went out, hit the portal hard, hit the recruiting trail hard, and really brought in some guys with some size, some skill, A lot of physicality. I think people will be amazed. Those who haven't seen the team practice, the first time they get to see them in that exhibition against UTEP that's coming up in a couple weeks, I think people are going to be alarmed with how much bigger we are.
Yeah, it's really cool from a basketball perspective. There's no doubt. And I've watched Lobo basketball closely since 1972. No one can dispute this. I mean, somebody probably will, but never seen the level of depth that we have today. Never. I mean, we go literally, one of our walk-ons, Daraje Agbasi from Albuquerque, could start on teams in the Mountain West or be a significant player. And he may be here, but he's a walk-on. So the key, I think, on the court will be finding where we're going to get the points that House and MASH gave us. We've got the depth, we've got a lot of talent, and we're going to have to see who steps up, who becomes that scorer, that 15, 16 points, and who can Donnie give the ball to. Donnie Dent's going to be possibly, I think he's the favorite for Mountain West Player of the Year. Sorry, Boise, you guys are on your way out. We won't count you guys. But that's going to be the key. All right, so now let's talk about what that means, what men's basketball means in the realignment deal. We lost Colorado State, San Diego State, Boise State, 3 of the teams that were out of the 6 that were in the tournament last year, right? Did I miss anybody?
Yeah, and
Utah State.
And
4.
Yeah, and Colorado State.
But 4.
4.
Us and who made it that stayed? I'm missing somebody. Anyway, the point is the basketball talent or success in recent years is severely diminished. What does New Mexico do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, looking at it from a basketball standpoint, that the way that we've been able to build where we are today, especially over the last several years with Coach Pitino and what he's been able to put together, the way that we've gotten here is not the way that we can go forward. I think
Correct.
The level of quality in the Mountain West, being able to bank on top 50, top 60 net games almost every night, during the conference season, I don't think that's going to be what it looks like long term. All due respect to the rest of the folks in the new Mountain West. Hopefully UNLV continues their rise. They're loaded this year. They could be really good, but they always just seem to not fulfill their potential for whatever reason. I don't know if that's a Vegas thing or just a coincidence, but we really need Vegas to step up from a basketball standpoint for us to have those 2 really strong programs. But I think what it comes down to, I mean, there's a model for this, and everybody likes to use it, but it works. Gonzaga is the model. It's you play in this conference. You've got it. You can only lose 3 or 4 games, maybe in conference. You got to run the table, just win, baby. And then you have to really leverage that out of conference schedule, which now we're gonna have fewer games because the conference is getting smaller. So we really have to leverage that out of conference slate and get those games that boost the net. Because if you look at last year, even in the strongest year the Mountain West had, our out of conference affected us. We wouldn't have been in the tournament had we not won in Vegas. Yeah. And I think it's easy to look around and say, oh, well, the conference is going to be as bad, that's going to kill us. I'm like, the conference was great last year, and that still almost killed us. So having strong, parity in your conference with basketball is not necessarily a recipe to get a bid and to go dancing and ultimately get a high seed, because that's what we need.
That's
Seeding
the next
is the
step,
thing.
right? Well, first you got to be there every year.
Yep.
Because San Diego State didn't catch lightning in the bottle going to the final game. They were in the tournament every year, so sooner or later you get that break. You get the seedings break right. The upset comes, and boom, you're in the Sweet 16. Right. Boom, but you can't go every 5 years. So yeah, we've seen the Lobos have an incredible non-conference schedule this year.
Yep.
One of the hardest in the country, up there with the Gonzagas. So Richard Pitino has established that identity. We need to fund basketball. We need to take care of NIL, 505sports.org. We need to be competitive and play nationally in the preseason, dominate the conference.
Yep.
All right, well, boom. 21 minutes gone like that. Thanks for coming on. A lot to do. AbrazoHomes.com.
Brazalhomes.com, that's it.
Check it out. Hey, for all Lobo fans, men's, women's, Friday, women's open practice. Check it out at 505sports.org. We need you to register. 4 o'clock on Friday. You can meet and greet. You'll be introduced to the new women's team. Basically, 2/3 of the team is new. They're really going to be good. So come out and join us. All right, everybody. We'll be back next week. 505sports.org. It's up to you, New Mexico. It's up to you to make this happen. Let's do it as a team. Let's kick some butt. Thanks, and we'll be back next week.